Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good day. In this video, our group will present about the financial statement of Sandari Berhad and Holiong Bank Berhad. Hi, my name is Liana Najah binti Mazahedi with metric number A16930. The group consists of 6 members, that is Farah, Nadira, Zatil, Husna, Liana, that is me, and Shafiza. Without further ado, I will proceed this presentation with abstract. Financial statement analysis is the process of analyzing a certain company financial statement for decision-making purpose. The purpose of this study is to analyze, interpret, and compare the result of financial statement analysis within a company and between two public listed companies. The data used in this report is collected from the Musa Marketplace site. The types of analysis that are going to be used in this report are horizontal analysis, vertical analysis, and ratio analysis. By analyzing the financial statement of these companies, we find that both companies have a drop in income and profit during the period from 2019 to 2020.
Thank you to our previous presenter, Liana. Now, before we continue with the financial analysis, let me introduce our chosen company. The first company is Samdabi Property. Samdabi Property was formed by combining the property divisions of Golden Hope Plantations Berhad, Kumpulan Gesri Berhad, and Samdabi Berhad. Samdabi Property is a major property developer with 90,177 acres of remaining developer land with a total estimated GDV of RM86.9 billion. They has a 48-year track record of creating sustainable communities. Samdabi Property has a national footprint where they participate in a Malaysian partnership that is developing the landmark Battersea Power Station project in central London. Samdabi Property is the only Malaysian property developer to be designated as an index component of Dow Jones Sustainability Indices (DJSI) for 2 years in a row in 2018 and 2019. Samdabi Property is also a multi-award-winning property firm with several locally and internationally accolades. Our next chosen company is Holiong Bank. Holiong Bank is a part of Holiong Group and was originally incorporated as Kwong Lee Mortgage and Remittance Company in 1905 in Kuching, Sarawak. Holiong Bank was listed on the Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange on 17th October 1994, and since then, Holiong Bank has grown to become one of the significant players in the Malaysian banking and financing industry. Today, Holiong Bank is listed as Malaysia's 5th largest banking group by assets with over RM220 billion in assets and Malaysia's 4th largest by market capitalisation as at 30th of June 2020. Holiong Bank has been expanding its legacy in several big countries such as Singapore, China, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Holiong Bank's key business pillars are personal financial services, business and corporate banking, global markets, and Islamic financial services.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Zati Hidayah binti Asrul Azhar with number matric A168895. I will continue with the data of Samdabi Berhad and Holiong Bank Berhad. The data used in this paper are the annual income statement and annual balance sheet of Samdabi Berhad and Holiong Berhad and Holiong Bank. From the year ended June 30 in 2017 to the year ended June 30 in 2020, the data has been collected from the Bursa Marketplace site. Samdabi Berhad and Holiong Bank are listed in Bursa Malaysia, and they are also from different industry. Industry for Samdabi Berhad is consumer, non-cyclicals, and for Holiong Bank is financial banking services. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. I am Nurul Shafiza binti Sabudin with matrix number A169640. We will be presenting the methodology of this project. We're using horizontal, vertical, and ratio analysis. Horizontal analysis, also known as trend analysis, evaluates a series of financial statements data over a period of time. It determines the increase or decrease that has taken place, expressed as either amount or percentage. It allows investors and analysts to see what has been moving a company's financial performance over several years and to find the trends and growth patterns. Vertical analysis, also known as common size analysis, evaluates financial statements as a percentage of a base amount. This analysis makes it easier to compare the financial statements of one company with another and across industries because the relative proportions of account balances could be seen. It also can be compared with previous periods for time series analysis, in which the annual and quarterly figures are compared over years to observe if the performance metrics are improving or not. Ratio analysis expresses the relationship among selected items of financial statements data. In this paper, it has three categories such as liquidity, solvency, and profitability. Liquidity ratio measures a company's ability to pay off its short-term debts as they become due using the company's current or quick assets. Solvency ratio, also called as financial leverage ratio, compares a company's debt levels with its assets, equity, and earnings to evaluate the likelihood of a company staying afloat over the long haul by paying off its long-term debt as well as the interest. Profitability ratios measures the income of company for a given period of time.
Generally, total assets including current and non-current assets, total liabilities and total equity of Sime Darby in 2018 to 2020 has decreased compared to our base year, 2017. We noticed that Sime Darby's wealth in 2018 was the lowest since it decreased the most by 63.25%. Similarly, occurred with liabilities and equity, which has decreased by 62.63% and 63.69% respectively. Based on this table, revenues from sales, gross profit, and operating expenses in 2020 increased the most compared to 2019 and 2018. Operating income in 2020 has increased to 775 million, but it's not as high as in 2019. Generally, Sime Darby's net income in 2020 was the lowest one since it decreased the most. We can see that current assets in 2018 to 2020 participate in a similar amount of percentage in total assets, but in 2017 was the least one. For non-current assets section, 2017 participate the most in total asset. Next, moving to current liabilities and long-term liabilities, where in 2018 to 2020, this element also shows a similar amount of percentage, but in 2017, there was a significant changes in percentage. In total equity sections, all years shows a similar amount of percentage. Generally, gross profit and total operating expenses have participated similar amount of percentage. Highest net income participated in sales revenue was in 2017.
My name is Tusnaida Bintin Azman. As for the horizontal balance sheets analysis of Ho Leong Bank, the chart illustrates that the highest percentage of the total assets, liabilities, and equity is in 2020 and the least is in 2018. Overall, in 2020 shows a significant improvement for the total assets, liabilities, and equity. For the horizontal income statement analysis, shows that the non-interest income seems to dominate the chart between the interest income, the total interest expense, and non-interest expense. The highest percentage is in non-interest income in 2020, while the interest income for 2020 shows the least percentage. For the vertical balance sheet analysis, the data shows that the net loans dominate in the total assets. This results in an increase in volatile trend of the total gross loans in 2017 to 2020. The chart shows that 2019 has the highest in both net loans and the total gross loans. For the vertical income statement analysis, for bank management, the higher the interest received from loans, the higher the profit. The chart shows that the net interest income decreased in 2017 to 2020. The loan loss provision shows a decrease in 3 years from 2017 to 2019, but it increased in 2020. The increment of loan loss provision causes the total interest income to reduce. This can be proved by the chart above, which indicate that in 2020, net interest income after loan loss provision is decreased.
I will continue with the comparison between vertical balance sheet analysis of Sandra Berhad and Hong Leong Bank. Based on the graph, we could see that in the asset section, property, plant, equipment, net of intangibles, and total for other long-term assets in Sandra Derby is higher than Hong Leong Bank. In the liability section, Hong Leong Bank's liabilities across the year were higher compared to Sandra B. This shows that Hong Leong Bank as a banking industry carries higher amounts of debt because they own substantial fixed assets in the form of branch network. Furthermore, Sandra B Berhad have higher total equity through all of the year than Hong Leong Bank. We can conclude that Sandra B Berhad has contribution of shareholders to the company to the capital more than Hong Leong Bank since it is a consumer product and services industry with a large number of shareholders.
For the comparison between vertical income statement analysis of Sandra B Berhad and Hong Leong Bank, bank's financial statements differ from those of most other corporations that investors scrutinize. If we compare the revenues between two Sandra B Berhad and Hong Leong Bank, we have to compare different data due to the difference of the bank management and others company management. For Hong Leong Bank, the revenue is the total of the net interest income and non-interest income. For the bank experienced a decline in 2020, but experienced an increase in revenue in the previous 3 years. Meanwhile, Sandra B experienced increment from 2017 to 2020. Overall, Hong Leong and Sandra B has a higher percentage of net income before and after taxes compared to Sandra B Berhad. The highest percentage of net income for Sandra B Berhad is in 2017, while Hong Leong Bank is in 2018. Looking at net income, we can see that Hong Leong's percentage of net income in 2020 is higher compared to Sandra B.
I will continue with ratio analysis of Sandra B Berhad. For liquidity ratio, we can see from the graph that the best position is in 2017, while for the profitability ratio of Sandra B Berhad, the best profitability position is in 2018. For solvency ratio of Sandra B Berhad, the best solvency position is in 2017. Now let's continue with ratio analysis of Hong Leong Bank. For both liquidity and solvency ratio from the graph, we can see that the best position is in 2018. And for profitability ratio of Hong Leong Bank, we can see from the graph that the best profitability position is in 2018. Thus, we can conclude that from the ratio analysis, the best year for Sandra B Berhad is the year ended 30 June 2017, while for Hong Leong Bank is the year ended 30 June 2018. Now I will continue with the comparison of ratio analysis between the two companies. For the liquidity ratio, both companies still have the ability to cover short-term obligations and cash flows, but the company will be at risk if all the indicators in the ratios keep on declining. For solvency ratio, both company cash flows will still be sufficient to meet its long-term liabilities, but it will be at risk for Hong Leong Bank with high ratios. For profitability ratio, both companies had inefficiently generated profit and value for shareholders by declining profit, especially from year ended 30 June 2019 to year ended 30 June 2020.
In conclusion, both Sam Darby and Hong Leong Bank recently faced a drop in income and profit due to pandemic COVID-19, but we can conclude that Sam Darby can survive better than Hong Leong Bank since its profit margin is still positive compared to Hong Leong Bank. That's all from us. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.